Government plays the blame game over the losses incurred by the CEB.
විදුලි බල මණ්ඩලයේ පාඩු ලබන්නේ පහුගිය අවුරුදු 5.
නැතුව නිකරුණේ විපක්ෂයට බැන බැන ඉන්න තෘප්තියක් ලබා ගන්න ආණ්ඩුවකින් ප්‍රශ්න විසඳන්න බෑ.
Financial constraints to conduct general election.
පාර්ලිමේන්තුව විසිරුවට පස්සේ ආණ්ඩුක්‍රම ව්‍යවස්ථාවේ විධිවිධානවල තියෙනවා හදිසි අවස්ථා අරමුදලෙන් මුදල් දෙන්න පුළුවන් කියලා. නමුත් එහෙම අරමුදලක් නැහැ.
Ranjan Ramanayaka released on bail. Teachers and principals to follow work to rule from tomorrow. Advice given to quarantine Sri Lankans who arrive from South Korea for holidays at their respective homes.
Good evening and welcome to Primetime News. Taking a look at those stories in detail now. The Teachers and Principals Trade Union today launched a trade action by applying for sick leave, citing demands including salary anomalies. Due to this, academic activities in several schools were hampered.
Their demands were: make the teaching profession a closed and inclusive service, issue the circular relating an interim salary, allocation of 6% of GDP for education, end collecting money from parents for the maintenance of schools, provide a full pension to all teachers and principals who joined the service after the 1st of January 2016. Student turnout across the Western province dropped to 25% today, and the figure was even lower across other provinces as a result of the trade union action. Student turnout in other provinces were at 20 to 30%. At the same time, 18 teachers and principals associations marched from the Buddhadasa grounds to Isurupaya this morning, creating a massive traffic congestion in Batramulla. The trade union also pointed out there is a high volume of teacher vacancies in the country. There are around 4,000 such vacancies in the northwestern province alone. The provincial educational director mentioned that an attendance of students from the western province was 25%. 20 to 30% of students from other provinces attended school. While some teachers remained at home and others were kept in classrooms, teachers and principals took to the streets. I approve this trade action, but as a principal I am responsible to secure a future for the child. As a principal, if I don't report to my duties, the lives of the children who attend school are at risk. 18 teachers and principal unions today engaged in a protest by marching from the GH Buddhadasa grounds in Pallavatta to the Ministry of Education.
97% of the schools have been closed. More than 240,000 teachers are on sick leave. What did we say after heading towards the Presidential Secretariat on the 14th of February? We sought to resolve this problem and to meet the relevant officials before the 20th. However, no discussions have taken place thus far. We have shown our strength today. If a cabinet paper has been put forward in this regard, a circular must be issued to resolve our salary anomalies. Our struggle will end only after an indefinite strike. Do not wait until that happens and shed crocodile tears citing the education of the students.
Teachers' unions claim that schools in several provinces are facing a shortage of teachers. It is said that the northwestern province faces a shortage of 4,000 provinces, while 1,521 schools in the central province are facing a shortage of 4,561 teachers.
The shortage of teachers exists in the north central, northern, eastern and Uva provinces as well as the Badulla district. There is a shortage of teachers for certain subjects in the western province as well. There is a void of 60,000 teachers.
What is the solution that could be provided to resolve this issue?
There is a shortage of teachers countrywide. However, the government has failed to implement a definite plan to resolve this issue. There are 20,000 unemployed graduates who have passed the relevant state exams for teaching. As the United Unemployed Graduates Association, we have been voicing our demands on behalf of these unemployed graduates for several years, seeking to grant them appointments. We believe that state officials should realize the seriousness of this issue and intervene to resolve it.
ගේට්ටුවට නගිමින් අපිට මේ ප්‍රශ්නේ කියන්න වෙලා තිනවා පත්වීම් දෙන්නේ කියලා. තවමත් හැබැයි ඒකට නිශ්චිත වැඩපිළිවෙලක් ආණ්ඩුව පැත්තෙන් සකස් වෙලා නැහැ. වහාම ආණ්ඩුවේ බලධාරීන් මේ ප්‍රශ්නය සංකීර්ණව අරගෙන මේ සඳහා මැදිහත් වීමක් කළ යුතුයි කියලා අපි හිතනවා.
Teachers and principals who engaged in the strike today rejected an opportunity to meet with the additional secretary and other officials of the Ministry of Education. The protest ended today after a discussion was made to launch a Work to Rule campaign from tomorrow. The union has also decided to launch a 5-day countrywide strike beginning from the 16th of March.
While teachers and principals are engaging in such trade union action, the government commenced interviews today to provide 100,000 job opportunities. This is according to the Saubhagya Dakma policy statement.
These interviews are held at district secretariats island-wide. Long queues were to be seen at district secretariats due to candidates present expecting job opportunities. Government said that these candidates will undergo a training program of 6 months and later be recruited for government positions in their respective areas of residence.
The present and former governments have been blaming each other over the losses incurred by the Ceylon Electricity Board. However, while the losses of the CEB are nearing 100 billion rupees, additional power has been purchased for the next 6 months at higher rates.
The government will provide the required funds to avoid inconvenience in the public, although the CEB is in a crisis. 100 megawatts of emergency power have been purchased. We have extended a 6-month contract awarded by the former government for the purchasers to an year.
The
CEB, which was making profits before 2015, is sustaining losses since these institutions were inactive under the former government. Electricity had been supplied at higher rates due to the purchase of emergency power at higher rates. The Norachole power plant, which is the first coal power plant in the country, does not suffer losses, although there are shortcomings. If 900 megawatts of power supply is handled by one company, then bringing in another company would disrupt the process. We haven't awarded the tender yet. We have only called for a proposal. We only assisted the CEB engineers to implement their work plan. Although it was said that emergency purchases were important, we decided it could not be done. Today, steps have been taken to make an emergency purchase of 200 megawatts of power. Our hydropower capacity is 64%. This will reduce if water is supplied to meet the requirements of the Mahavali hydropower complex by the 15th of March. If the drought continues, a shortage of 500 megawatts of electricity will occur. Power cuts will occur if this shortage is not fulfilled. It was said that a minister in the former government had certain issues. This name is not being revealed since the person who said it worked alongside this minister. The government can't resolve the issues by blaming the opposition, as this is a national problem. While Susil Premajayanta served as the Minister of Power from the 10th of April 2004, WDJ Seniviratna served in that capacity from the 23rd of November 2005. Partly Champika Ranavaka served in this position from the 23rd of April 2003, while Pavitra Vanyarachi replaced him on the 28th of January 2013, before Partly Champika Ranavaka was reappointed to the same role on the 12th of January 2015. Ranjit Thiyambalapitiya served in this capacity on the 4th of September in 2015, while Ravi Karunanayaka held this portfolio from the 20th of December 2018. However, Suren Batagoda served as the Secretary to the Ministry of Power and Energy from the 19th of January 2015 until the new government came into power. They have prepared a power generation plan. Therefore, they are well aware of the impending power crisis, but they never find a solution to this until the last minute. Instead of finding solutions, a notice is issued stating the power supply would be suspended within 2 days. Thereafter, attempts are made to purchase power from independent power producers. Then the commissions are higher. This is what they are trying to do today. Mahindananda Alutgamage convenes a news briefing and says that power will be purchased from the private sector immediately. Then electricity is purchased at higher rates. The group then divides the commissions earned through these purchases.
Lanka Transformers Limited
Lanka Transformers Limited, which is a semi-governmental body under the CEB, earns profits while the CEB is suffering losses. The profits earned by the LTL must be shared among the CEB and the Treasury. However, LTL had been bearing the expenses of all previous power and energy ministers. The same applies to the current State Minister of Power, Mahindananda Alutgamage. Therefore, it is justifiable when the power and energy ministers express anger when matters concerning LTL's fraud and corruption are exposed.
නාස්තිය ගැන කතා කරනකොට ඇමතිතුමාට කේන්ති යන එක හරි මොකද ඇමතිතුමා ඉන්නේ LTL එකේ සාත්තුවේ.
Minister Prasanna Ranatunga says the contract to construct the extension of the Bandaranaike International Airport in Katnaika cannot be taken away from the Japanese company named Taisei. The minister points out a decision can only be taken if an issue arises while the project is underway.
The project to construct an extension to the BIA will be carried out through a loan of 99 billion rupees obtained from Japan. There are two matters here. The first is that this loan was obtained from Japan during the tenure of the previous government. This has been tendered and is being constructed under 2 phases. Around 90% of the work is completed in phase 1. The second phase has been delayed as a result of an administrative issue which has arisen in the company carrying out the construction. The previous government had appointed a commission comprising 3 ministry secretaries to compile a report regarding this. When we came into power, we allowed the commission to carry on its functions. We only had to make the decision on whether the company will be constructing this or not. The previous government had appointed a tender board and an evaluation committee. What was left for us to do was to provide 1-month extension and hold final discussions. They have now agreed to go forward with this project. Therefore, the cabinet convened and based on the subcommittee report, we have delegated the authorities at the airport to carry out further activities with the relevant company. Based on the information we received yesterday, we requested for this to be probed. Most of the work has been completed. Only once the construction is underway can we take any sort of action if the company is doing things in an improper manner. Minister Prasanna Ranatunga, the issue faced by the people is not the project. The issue is handing over the project to the Japanese Taisei Corporation. This company obtained rights to construct the 3rd phase of the Central Expressway, violating the tender process of the country. The loans which was to be obtained by the previous government for this project was in excess of 153 billion rupees and was also to be obtained at a higher interest rate. Cabinet papers had also been issued back in the day to pay a premium of 10.07% of the total loan in order to obtain the loan in question. However, the Taisei Corporation has been removed from the 3rd phase of the Central Expressway, which is still under construction. It is against such a backdrop that this BIA extension project has been handed over to the Taisei Corporation. Minister Prasanna Ranatunga, you may be unaware that the Taisei Corporation had demanded a compensation of 4 billion rupees, claiming that the government had failed to take over the outer circular expressway during the pre-agreed period. The corporation has also gone to the extent of initiating legal action against the government to obtain the compensation. If this is the manner in which the Taisei Corporation conducts itself, will authorities succeed in removing the corporation from the BIA extension project while the construction is underway? The Fair Trade Commission in Japan filed criminal charges against this corporation, and this corporation is also responsible for the construction of this infamous subway. Last night, Newsfirst revealed that various irregularities had occurred while the Taisei Corporation was constructing the Hilton Hotel in Colombo. Further to Newsfirst's revelation on the contract breaches by the Taisei Corporation with regard to the Hilton Hotel, Nihal Sri Amarasekara, who had taken legal action against the matter, revealed more information. He says it was proven before a special presidential commission that the cross-sectional sheets of the original architectural plans of the Hilton Hotel Colombo had been replaced with new cross-sectional sheets. These new sheets had provided new elevations of the said floors, and two of the floor sheets and the basement sheets of the original architectural plans had been removed. Mr. Amarasekara added that the elevations shown on the floor plan sheets did not match with the corresponding elevations of the floors depicted on the new cross-sectional sheets, which was, quote, irrefutable evidence of criminality of cannibalization of the original architectural plans, unquote, which were before the commission. As a result of such action, the third and fourth floors were shown to be at the same elevation of 24.5 meters, whilst the 19th floor and the roof of the 19th floor were shown to be at elevations of 72.7 meters and 72.5 meters respectively, whereby the roof was depicted to be below the 19th floor. Amarasekara further noted the foregoing resulted in the elimination of 2 room floors, a mezzanine floor and 2 basements, compromising on the piling which had to be done for the basements. Also, the schedule of supplies of furniture, fittings and equipments had also gone missing, and thereby the correctness of such supplies had been compromised and could not be verified, inasmuch a specified bill of quantities was unavailable to have ensured quality specifications. The people of the country do not question the decision to extend the national airport of the country. The conundrum is presenting a corporation which is clearly involved in committing irregularities and a marred reputation to construct the aforementioned extension. According to Minister Prasanna Ranatunga, should we wait to close the stable door after the horse has bolted?
Sri Lanka's decision to withdraw from co-sponsoring the 30/1 and 40/1 resolutions was officially informed to the United Nations Human Rights Council or UNHRC today. The decision was communicated by Minister of Foreign Relations Dinesh Gunawardena while addressing the 43rd session.
The 7th meeting of the 43rd session was held in Geneva, Switzerland at 10 a.m. Geneva time this morning. Minister of Foreign Relations Dinesh Gunawardena addressed the gathering at 2:30 p.m. Sri Lankan time.
A group of UNHRC members, failing to appreciate the GOSL endeavors in defeating terrorism and bringing about stability, humanitarian relief and lasting peace through a carefully balanced reconciliation process, moved consecutive country-specific resolutions at the UNHRC on Sri Lanka in 2012, 13 and 14. Mr. President, the previous government in July 2015 jettisoned this homegrown reconciliation process which was bearing fruit. In an unprecedented move in the annals of the Human Rights Council and contrary to the Sri Lanka stands on the country-specific resolutions, the government at that time co-sponsored UNHRC Resolution 30/1 on Sri Lanka. Substantively, the previous government noted with appreciation the much flawed OISL report, which was used as a basis not only for Resolution 31, but also to unjustify, vilify the heroic Sri Lanka security forces, possibly the only national security establishment that defeated terrorism in that time. This was despite there being an abundance of evidence in the contrary contained in 1. Domestic reports such as the LLRC, Justice Paranagama Commission report, Information presented before the UK House of Lords by Lord Nesby, challenging among other things the vastly exaggerated civilian figures, other reports of the UN, international agencies including the ICRC, as well as exposed diplomatic cables. Constitutionally, the resolution seeks to cast upon Sri Lanka obligations that cannot be carried out within its constitutional framework, and it infringes the sovereignty of people of Sri Lanka, violates the basic structure of our constitution. This is another factor that has prompted Sri Lanka to reconsider its position in co-sponsorship. Procedurally, in co-sponsoring Resolution 31, previous government violated all democratic principles of governance. It declared support for the resolution even before the draft text was presented. It sought no cabinet approval to bind the country to deliver the dictates of an international body. There was no reference to Parliament on the process, undertaking and repercussions of such co-sponsorship. More importantly, the resolution itself included provisions which are undeliverable due to its inherent illegality, being in the violation of the Constitution, the supreme law of the country. It also overruled reservations expressed by professionals, diplomats, academia, media and the general public. The then President Maithripala Sirisena also stated that he was not consulted on this matter. It remains to date brought on the sovereignty and the dignity of the people of Sri Lanka.
Tomorrow, the High Commissioner for Human Rights, Michelle Bachelet, will make known to the Council her stance on Sri Lanka, followed by a response by Minister Dinesh Gunawardena. On Friday, Michelle Bachelet and Minister Dinesh Gunawardena are scheduled to meet for discussions. This is Sonali Vanigabadge reporting for News First from the Palais de Nation in Geneva, Switzerland.
Still in local news, Fort Magistrate Ranga Dissanayake decided to further remand former Sri Lankan ambassador to Russia, Udayanga Weerathunga, until the 11th of March. The former ambassador was arrested and remanded for his unlawful interference in purchasing MiG fighter aircraft for the Sri Lanka Air Force from Ukraine and for embezzling millions through the deal. An application for bail filed by the former ambassador was rejected by the Fort Magistrate, and counsel said a documented application for bail would be filed with court in due course. In court today, an assistant superintendent of police produced a certificate which claimed the suspect Udayanga Weerathunga had committed an offence under the Public Property Act for causing damages exceeding 25,000 rupees. Fort Magistrate Ranga Dissanayake pointed out, as per the certificate produced by the ASP, a magistrate's court does not have the power to grant bail to the suspect and therefore decided to remand Udayanga Weerathunga until the conclusion of the examination of the case. The magistrate also ordered for the court registrar to send an order to the acting IGP to take necessary measures to reassign Chief Police Inspector Nihal Francis and SSP Pavitra Dayaratna to the case, as it was they who investigated the matter for over 5 years. The magistrate made the order after pointing out in open court of the fact court is yet to be informed of the handover of the order given on the 19th of February to the acting IGP on the above matter via court officers. The Deputy Solicitor General requested court to issue a warrant for the arrest of Nelum Duminda Manamperia, a relative of Weerathunga, who would be named as a suspect in the case. The request was turned down by court.
Parliamentarian Ranjan Ramanayake was granted bail by the Nugegoda magistrate today. He was arrested and remanded for interfering with the functions of judges. In court, the government analysts confirmed the voice in the phone recordings which were publicized via the media is a match to the voice of MP Ranjan Ramanayake. In more local news, Chairman of the National Election Commission, Mahinda Deshapriya, convened a media briefing today.
Funds have not been allocated for the election. According to the constitution, funds could be disbursed through the emergency fund towards this once parliament is dissolved. However, such a fund has not been established. Therefore, I believe that the president can obtain money through a special warrant in such a situation. Only teachers are facing delays in receiving payments. Next, officials who were in charge of election officials at the Colombo District Secretariat are also facing delays. We owe the Ceylon Electricity Board 4 trillion rupees this year. We are not in a position to settle payments to the Treasury. The funds allocated through the vote on account for the National Election Commission, which amounts to 1,004 billion rupees, have been used up. We have already paid 1 trillion rupees. We are facing a shortage of funds. We have never received the required funds from the government because the government too makes allocations based on what they have.
මුදල කොයි වෙලාවකවත් අපට රජයෙන් ලැබෙන්නේ. හේතුව රජය දෙන්නෙත් රජයට මුදල් තියෙන විදිහටනේ.
We predict that it will cost 5.5 billion rupees. If the size of the ballot paper increases due to the rise in the number of parties, then the cost might range between 6 and 6.5 billion rupees. According to information received by us, Parliament will be dissolved within a week. The election can be held between 52 to 66 days of dissolving the Parliament. Therefore, the polls will be held after the 22nd of April and or before the 4th of May. It would be convenient for us to conduct the election 60 days after Parliament is dissolved. We have stated that it would be convenient for electoral officers to conduct the poll on the 25th, 27th, 28th and 29th of April or the 4th of May.
මයි 4 මේ දවස් 4න් ලියලා අපේ නිලධාරීන් දිස්ත්‍රික් වල නිලධාරීන් මේක ඈතම දිනයක් ලැබෙනවා නම් කැමතියි කියන එකක් ලියලා.
A recognized political party has not requested to form an alliance identified as the Sri Lanka Nidahas Podujana Peramuna. We will consider it as an alliance similar to the Tamil National Alliance, which has notified us in that regard. We have written to all political parties. Holding a foreign citizenship does not matter as long as the individual holds the Sri Lankan citizenship and serves as a secretary, chairman or treasurer of a party.
වෙනත් රටක පුරවැසිභාවය තිබුණට කමක් නැහැ. ශ්‍රී ලාංකා පුරවැසියා වෙන්නට ඕනේ. අවම වශයෙන් ලේකම්වරයා සභාපතිවරයා සහ භාණ්ඩාගාරය.
The Tamil Progressive Alliance formally announced it will support the Samagi Jana Balawegaya. The announcement was made at a media briefing at the parliamentary complex today.
Tamil Progressive Alliance is a strong party. We are supporting Sajith Premadasa voluntarily. There won't be reconciliation without national security. Reconciliation must be protected to have a sound national economy. We have that understanding here. We will all come together and build this country.
The Tamil Progressive Alliance consists of Democratic People's Front led by Palani Digambaran and National Union of Workers led by V. Radhakrishnan.
Swairi Sri Lanka.
Samagi Jana Balawegaya is ready to embark on the heroic journey to create a prosperous country while ensuring its sovereignty, people's mandate, territorial integrity, unity and equality for all races and religions. We are ready to begin a non-corrupt and people-oriented journey. We are hoping to conduct our first meeting on the 2nd of March at the Nelumpukuna Theatre in Colombo. We will start a new patriotic political journey with the United National Party.
අලුත් දේශපාලන ගමනක් එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයත් ඇතුළුව අපි ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන්නට කටයුතු කරනවා.
විපක්ෂ නායකතුමා දැන් TNA සහ මුස්ලිම් පක්ෂ ඔබතුමාත් එක්ක එකතු වෙන්න මේ අවස්ථාවේදී එකඟතාවයක් පළ කරලා තියෙනවද?
Samagi Jana Balawegayata.
Samagi Jana Balawegaya has officially started the progressive journey yesterday. Today marks the second step. There are a lot of other steps to take. You will see a movement condemning racism.
ඔබතුමන්ලාට දැක ගන්නට ලැබේ.
ඕනෑම පක්ෂයකට එකතු වෙන්න පුළුවන්ද? කොන්දේසි තියනවද?
දේශප්‍රේමී.
A group supporting eradication of racism, territorial integrity and national security will join us.
ඒ ඉලක්ක සම්පූර්ණ කරන කණ්ඩායම් එකතු වේ. ඉදිරියේදී බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්න. ඒ හැමදේම නිසි කලට, නිසි ලෙසට, නිසි ආකාරයට.
The Department of Meteorology has issued a heat index advisory to several areas of the country. The advisory has been issued against a backdrop where the country is facing a spell of dry weather.
Heat index, which is the temperature that is felt on the human body, is expected to increase up to extreme caution level at some places in northwestern and western provinces and in Mana, Gaul and Matara districts, particularly during today and tomorrow. To mitigate the impact, try to limit strenuous outdoor activities and stay hydrated, and extra attention should be given to elderly and sick people and children.
The Met Department also advises the general public to wear lightweight and white or light-colored clothing. The heat index forecast is calculated by using relative humidity and maximum temperature, and it is the condition that is felt on one's body. The heat index consists of 4 warning levels according to the Department of Meteorology. They are 27 Celsius to 32 Celsius, caution, 32 Celsius to 41 Celsius, extreme caution, 41 Celsius to 54 Celsius, danger, and over 54 Celsius, extreme danger. Meanwhile, a recent study has concluded that New Delhi, India, is the world's most polluted capital for the second straight year in 2019. According to the study, India was also home to 21 of the world's 30 most polluted cities. The study measured the concentration of poisonous PM2.5 particles that are less than 2.5 microns in diameter and can be carried deep into the lungs, as higher 2.5 levels could cause deadly diseases including cancer and cardiac problems. In 2019, New Delhi's average annual concentration of PM2.5 in a cubic meter of air was 98.6. The study said more than double the level of Beijing, which averaged 42.1 during the year, making it the 9th most polluted city in the world. New Delhi's toxic air is caused by vehicle and industrial emissions, dust from building sites, smoke from the burning of rubbish, and crop residue in nearby fields.
A silent protest was held today at the Vihara Mahadevi Park, urging the authorities to pass the Animal Welfare Bill.
Several organizations, animal rights activists and the public who promote animal welfare attended the silent protest held at the Vihara Mahadevi Park opposite the Nelumpokuna. Other than the main objective of passing the Animal Welfare Bill, the protest also aims to gazette the already approved regulations for the welfare of captive elephants and to demand the strict enforcement of existing laws to prevent cruelty to animals.
You can see behind me, we have a gathering amassed to peacefully urge the government to pass the Animal Welfare Bill and also to implement the already passed regulations for the welfare of captive elephants. Right now in Sri Lanka, we don't have proper welfare for animals, and it's an important fact to remember that all the animals in Sri Lanka are also Sri Lankans and have just as much of a right to life and happiness as we humans do.
The Kuliyapitiya dog who got stabbed, we were the one who went to the police, lodged the complaints and doing all the legal part, trying to find the suspect, because this needs to be end up in this country, because we can't go through this daily torture, because we are also mentally getting tortured with all these things. So definitely we need the bill to be passed as soon as possible, because if it's not going to happen, I think we need to move on to the international level, and we will be doing it.
We're here because we love our country, we love the animals that we share our country with, and we're here to speak for them because they can't speak for themselves. And it's high time the country moved forward with the rest of the world. Every country around the world looking at India, the kind of progress they're making on animal welfare. It is certainly not a Western conspiracy to be kind and tolerant. It is in fact Sri Lankan culture to be compassionate and kind.
A group of Sri Lanka cricket officials flew from Ratmalana to Matala today to watch the second one-day international between Sri Lanka and West Indies. Our correspondent said the group, who landed in a special aircraft, later arrived at the Surya Veva Stadium.
The special flight arrived at the Matala International Airport at around 12:20 this afternoon. When we inquired the matter from a Sri Lanka cricket official, he said that 40 staff members had joined the tour, including several cheerleaders. Several media reports also stated that the air ticket cost per person was 5,500 rupees. Social media reports point out that all these officers have been taken to watch the match on the request of one person. These reports point out since these officials engage in such tours only to watch the matches, it is a waste of money that can be utilized for the development of first-class cricket in the country. Against a backdrop where the country's attention has been drawn on the audit reports of the SLC as well as matters discussed at COPE, social media platforms have been keen regarding the outcome of this matter.
And with that, we conclude tonight's edition of Primetime News. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm Mahina Bongzo.
And I am Shahin Jarongpati. Good night and take care.